Cricket World Cup winning team. Then what followed, of course, was a journey of highs and then lows as well. How did he deal with all of that? Well, that's something, in fact, that is now on the big screen in a new documentary, Unbroken, the Unmukt Chand Story. Yes, it has released in theatres across the country and is getting rave reviews by, of course, fans of him and also viewers alike. Unmukt Chand, cricketer, is joining us live in our studio, in fact, himself. And we also have the filmmaker who has taken this story to the big screen, Raghav Khanna. Welcome, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let me quickly begin by asking you, Unmukt, the question that the trailer asks also. Unmukt Chand, once touted to be the next big thing. What then went wrong, Unmukt?
Well, obviously, so many things have happened in my career. The highs of the under-19s, and then India A's, and also the setbacks, which eventually happened. So it's been a roller coaster journey for me personally, and now being in USA, I'm starting the journey yet again. See, again, it's so many things which keep happening. My focus has always been to play better cricket, to improve myself, to make sure that I am better than what I was yesterday. And that's always been a constant. Things sometimes happen for you, things sometimes don't happen for you. The bottom line is your intent has to be positive. You should always be looking forward to becoming a better version of yourself. And this is what this documentary also talks about. So yeah, I would rather say that go out and watch this to sort of see more of behind the scenes.
Yes, I'll just come to Raghav in a second, but Unmukt, a lot of what the critics and what people in the screening in fact have to say is that it's very, very rare to actually have a public personality be so honest and be so willing to expose everything before the world in the form of a documentary. So for you, was there any hesitation in doing this? Did you have to think it twice, or were you convinced about the idea?
Well, when Raghav had presented me with this idea, this was after I moved to USA, I knew that there is something in this story which might resonate with a lot of people. I've seen the highs of highs in terms of everything has been magnified in my life. Success has been magnified, so as well the failures as well. So many cricketers come up to me, who get a little bogged down when things don't go their way, and I felt that through this story, and this is because I believe in, a comeback journey. I believe in sort of getting up again, even if life is sort of wronged you in so many ways, but just get up and keep going. Through this story, if it could even help one person sort of get inspired, that was the whole reason I started working with Raghav on this, and we sort of came up with this. But otherwise, I know it's letting my life come out in the public, but I've been very open with this, and I feel that it's everyone's journey. If you can sort of grow from this, I think it's the best thing possible.
Okay, how did the idea come to you, Raghav? Of making this film on Unmukt. What was the trigger for the idea for you? Obviously, you did then go and meet him, and he was convinced, as he was saying. But idea कैसे आया पहले आपके ज़हन में?
So, as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, you always have to seek the extraordinary in the ordinary, and vice versa, the ordinary in the extraordinary. Unmukt's journey is no doubt extraordinary because he's seen peaks of fame at a very early age. He's then seen gutting lows. But what makes it for me relatable is that it's not just about cricket, it's about life. Like I've said at other places as well, that when you make a film on a once in a generation talent who's achieved everything, it is a story that can inspire you, but Unmukt's journey, Unmukt's story is relatable at every step of your life. So the lens through which I'm telling this story is deeply personal, deeply emotional, but also there's an endeavor, that's deliberate endeavor that's gone into it to make it relatable to everyone who's watching it. And I think it is a certain amount of honesty and transparency, the access we've had with him and his family, and the news fraternity in this country, because they've given us exclusive footage dating all the way back to mids of 2000s when Unmukt was a child, and that's helped to bring a realistic perspective to life.
Yes. Any preconceptions that you had about him? that have been busted through the course of you making this movie or about his journey?
So, one thing that the media always portrayed him as is that, he's arrogant or success got onto him early, which is something that when I see Unmukt, that I've been following him closely since 29 onwards, that's when we first met. And I realized that this is a man who's learnt from early fumbles in life. I wish the world was kinder to him, because Unmukt went viral before being viral was a thing. Unmukt was trolled before trolling was a thing. And he suffered gracefully and silently when mental health was not being talked about. So that is something courageous of a young boy, 21, 22, when I didn't know him. But I see reflections of that journey in his story right now. And that's something you see. Like if you see, there are moments of silence where you just see in his expressions what he's gone through. The other thing is that the form of storytelling that we've employed is so diverse, where we've leaned into background score and songs, certain suggestive recreations, a heavy use of archive to tell that story, where I as a filmmaker, I'm not telling you how to feel about him. I'm leaving that space for you to form a judgment.
Okay. For you, Unmukt, through this journey, and before we get into specific, episodes in your journey, who do you believe has been your backbone? It's not easy to chart the course. If you've had unprecedented rise and then fall as well, who has been your backbone, or who has been, someone who has helped you stay the course through this journey? Or who have, if there are many people?
Yeah, I think obviously first comes my family, because they have been very, very supportive since day one. My uncle, who has been part of this journey, who has been living this journey with me since I started playing cricket. They have been the ones who have nurtured me all throughout. They have been the ones who have sort of kept me on track. Highs, lows, all these things keep coming, but we have had the same discussions whenever we are at home. How the point of the discussion has always been how to get better. What do I need to do to get better? Things I need to avoid. Things distractions coming my way. So they have been the filter before anything has reached me, which has been great for me. And then over the years, obviously, once I met my wife Simran, she has been a great force since I moved to USA, because even for me that was a big step which happened in my life, and that wasn't easy. And her perseverance with me, her dedication towards my goals has been immense, and which has really helped me sort of navigate a lot of challenges which came in my way, especially after 2017-18. And that has been a great blessing for me, and I'm really happy that I could find such a good support staff in people like my family, and obviously my coaches. Sanjay sir has been great throughout. I have that close circle which keeps me in good stead, and that is something which is very important for anyone.
What is the biggest high for you that you've had in life?
Well, obviously, if you talk about the highs, it's definitely been
one biggest high.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? It's been the Under-19 World Cup, because that really changed a lot of things for me personally. First of all, winning the cup for India is something which is very special for any cricketer. So for me also personally, that was the biggest high. But in terms of also the way people look at you, your perspective changes. People start looking at you in a different way. Obviously they make you a star, especially if you win a thing like a World Cup. And I would rather say that has had a huge impact on my life.
And the biggest low?
For me, the biggest low has been when I was dropped from the Delhi side in 2017. That was very difficult to digest, because I was leading India that year, and then suddenly getting dropped from India from Delhi side was something I had never thought of. And within a week, there was IPL auctions as well, and I didn't get picked over there as well. So in 1 week I felt that I was ripped apart.
Yeah. When you look back now, the fact that you didn't get to play for the national team, the fact that there were certain matches as well that you had to sit out in the IPL, and the fact that, as you just referred to, this Delhi team omission, do you believe it was all due to lack of form, or do you believe there were other reasons to it?
Well, see, as a cricketer, my first thing is to look within myself. There could be multiple reasons, I'm not denying that. But what happens is, selection is something which is dependent on a lot of different things, right? you cannot really pinpoint on one particular thing. Sometimes it could be anything. But for me as a cricketer, I would say that even if I had a bad red ball season, and then I start thinking of why didn't I not get picked in the white ball format. But then as a cricketer, I feel that I should score wherever I go. That's the standard which I've always kept for myself. That's why I don't like to sort of put the blame on anything else, because I feel it's also a weakness when you do that. And if you ask me personally, I would rather say that okay, I should have scored more runs, even if whatever format that is. As a cricketer, that's my job, that's my role. But then obviously it's a game where it's also about the spots you have. Sometimes you don't have those spots what you're eyeing for, and so many other equations also go into play. So there could be multiple reasons.
Who's a cricketer or a former cricketer who's been a mentor to you?
Well, quite a few. I've been very lucky to be playing around with, even if you look at my Delhi dressing room, a lot of players have been there, like, Shikhar has been there, Gautibai has been there, Virubai has been, all these players I've played with. So eventually, you become friends. They keep sort of guiding you wherever, you need help. Bishan Singh Bedi sir was a great, I used to speak to him quite a lot, and he used to always be mentoring me on so many things. So I really miss him. And yeah, Irfan has been there, a couple of others have been there who've been, good guides for me.
Okay. One former cricketer who has been included in your documentary by Raghav is Kapil Dev. And Kapil Dev's advice or lecture to you at a media channel's, conclave event. At that, now of course, when you look back, obviously it was for the good that he said it. But at that point when Kapil Dev told you that, what was your feeling in your head at that occasion?
Well, see, as I said before also, I think it's because of, as a senior player, that's what you want to tell your youngster as well, that, rather be on the field, which is what I totally understand now. But again, it wasn't the way I think sometimes things also get blown out of proportion. It could be one of those incidents, because I was practicing, I was doing everything, but then, I had to come for that event because I was asked by some of the top officials to go there for that event, only for a few hours. But I didn't miss my practice. I was there in my practice till afternoon. I had to come there for this event, and then I went back. I could have missed the entire day. I did not do that because practice was something which was very sacrosanct to me. But then, obviously, I'm sure that he wouldn't be knowing, what my side of the story was.
In hindsight, would you have missed that event or not?
I could not.
Okay.
I just could not.
Okay. Let me get back to you, Raghav, on one best thing that's been said to you so far after the documentary's release, something that has touched your heart, that has come to you from something you've read or something that's been told to you personally after the film's release at any of the screenings, or from viewers who are watching it independently as well.
So one thing that personally I've relished across not only in India but the world is, we screened this film at a couple of places in the US, is that when the film ends, there is a gutting collective silence in the hall. We are leaving the audience on a note that's deeply immersive, self-reflective, and you can feel that this is a collective emotion people are living through. His story is reaching out to people and it's connecting with them. That's on a personal level. I've experienced this in cinema, and then people walk up to you and say that they were all goosebumpy or teary-eyed at the end of the movie. So somewhere we've managed to connect to them, strike that chord, which is not easy, because when you make a documentary film, unlike a fiction film, you don't have a script you're working with. You just have a dotted line, you have your intuition, you have your gut instinct, and a lot of flexibility that wherever the story goes, you have to course correct with the story. You always have to respect the ongoing story and work your film around it, rather than just reverse engineer everything. So to be honest, we were all hoping that Unmukt would be a part of the 2024 US World Cup squad, and that would have been a probable ending for us. But I think what has emerged on screen is a much more human, endearing, relatable emotion of how the film ends. And when I'm looking at the reviews, when I'm looking at the reviews, they are polarizing, largely positive, and that for a filmmaker is great, because it's the middle of the line reviews. That means that which are not great.
You're right. And it's an unconventional ending, because the most conventional ending would have been, of course, the fact that he's either just become a father. That's a happy ending to close on, or it could have been that he's made it to the US side and won the World Cup for the United States or played that match against India or something like that. But that's not something you've shown, because that's not also interestingly something that had happened just yet. So Unmukt, coming back to you on that moment which the film shows, and our viewers who haven't watched the film, you please go and see it, and then you will see these moments that we're talking about. But for you, Unmukt, now again when you look back at the second big low in your second innings, not getting picked for the United States side, why do you believe that happened? Was it again the first question I asked you, lack of form, or were there other reasons to it as well?
Well, see, again, I went to USA at the first place because 2024 World Cup was definitely on my mind. I had been practicing very hard for that. I was getting the highest number of runs in the minor league setup and everything. Sometimes it's just a matter of luck, chance, and there's so many other things which go into play. So I mean, just a little unfortunate, I would say, that things didn't sort of fall into my lap in 24. But again, my job as a cricketer is still to score runs. Really happy that I just had a good major league season.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Yes.
Firstly, I didn't know, because and it's great now that we can watch it on Jio Hotstar. So a lot of people are, I'm sure, watching it more in India now. Now the fact that it's on OTT platform over here, and I didn't know you're keeping wickets there as well.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I didn't know you become a wicket keeper. I saw that this year.
Yeah, and I had a very good season with the Los Angeles Knight Riders, the team I play for. So looking forward, man. I mean, there are a few tournaments which are coming up again, and then obviously in a couple of months there's another World Cup coming up. So fingers crossed. Hopefully things click this time.
You may have to make another documentary then, Raghav. Part 2, sequel.
100%.
Okay.
We can extend this one.
You can extend this one, yes. Okay. As new editions of books come out, a new edition of a documentary maybe. Okay, let's now also have you speak quickly about the Asia Cup. It's happening currently as we speak, Unmukt, and we have you in the studio on the day India is playing Pakistan. What a game today. Are you excited for that match? What do you think about the Indian cricket team right now and our prospects in the Asia Cup? I'm sure you saw how we hammered the UAE the other day.
Well, of course. I mean, it's going to be a great clash as always. Needless to say, everyone's going to be glued to the screens. So am I. And cheering for India, rooting for India. Hope we sort of thrash Pakistan and win this game. I think it's a great side, a very well balanced side. It's a young side which has been doing very well. And obviously it's good to sort of get such a win the way we sort of won against UAE. Hopefully we can take the same confidence into this game and win this one as well.
Do you believe our spinners are the X factor right now?
100%. I think we've got the best spinners right now in the world, and I think it's going to make a huge difference today as well. So really rooting for them. Hopefully we have a good game today.
You yourself have been a young captain. What do you make of the new captains now that India is seeing? We are seeing the passing over from the era of Rohit and Virat to the next generation now. Shubman, Surya Kumar Yadav and others. What do you make of this?
I think if you look at this, they have been playing for India for quite a while now. So I mean, even though they are fresh faces as captains of the side, but they have been there for a long time. They've been playing IPL also. They've been doing so well for India over the course of the last few years. We saw how Shubman led India in the Test series also just recently, and Surya has been superb anyways in T20 cricket. So I feel it's a great side. They have been doing a great job together, and under the able coaching of Gautam Gambhir also, I think it's going to make a huge difference.
Okay, who's a young cricketer who you look at who has great potential for us?
Well, obviously I think I don't know whether to call Shubman young or no, but Shubman is doing a great job. Yashasvi is doing a great job, and so are others. I think this team is very exciting. The amount of competition which is there in the side is good to watch. Whenever you have such a healthy competition in the side, and it's always great for any team for that matter.
Well, are you still hopeful to see Virat and Rohit continue as well in the format that they're playing?
Well, I love them, so I'm a little biased towards them. So yes, I would say that please come back.
Okay, Raghav, of course you're not a professional cricketer, but I did hear from someone yesterday that you're very fond of cricket yourself and passionate about it. So what's your take on our prospects in the Asia Cup and the Indian side right now?
See, I'm an avid cricket fan. I don't think that from the mid of the 90s up until the 2011 World Cup, there was ever a tournament played that I didn't end up watching. In fact, I clearly remember one example. India was playing at Firozshah Kotla. It was against Pakistan, and I was writing my pre-boards exam. I left the exam halfway and I went and saw the match. So that's the kind of passion. I will be watching the match, rooting for my team, rooting for India, because India first.
X Factor kaun rahega, Raghav?
I think it's Shubman at the start.
Okay.
Who can give us a head start, which will just put us ahead of the game.
And you're a cricket fan. Is that why you decided to make this film? Is that a part of the reason also?
See, yeah, I think every story, it has to connect to you at a personal level, and you have to see, am I the best person to tell this story, and why am I telling this story? So cricket came naturally to me as a passion. Unmukt story to me spoke on a human level, and I think, okay, here's a subject that I deeply am passionate about since childhood, and here's a story that's a story of human emotions. So probably I can bring out the best version of both of them.
True that. Okay, what's the next goal now, Unmukt? What are you looking forward to? Of course, fatherhood. That's something amazing. So congratulations on that to both you and your wife. How is that feeling?
Well, obviously it's a brand new feeling, so I didn't know how to sort of put it into words. Once the baby pops out, then that's when I'm gonna realize or understand what it feels like. But yes, totally excited for that. I had been very busy with my cricketing season going on as well, because we just finished with the Major League and now a few more tournaments are coming up soon. I'm in the middle of playing the minor league as well, so a lot of things happening. So let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to this.
Okay, and we're going to end with a rapid fire. So are you ready for that?
Go for it.
Okay. Favorite cuisine of Unmukt Chand?
Well, favorite is Japanese, but I mean, it's favorite, but I eat it once in a while. So
okay,
yeah, I'll do Japanese there. Sushi.
Beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
Okay. What's the last holiday you took?
Oh, yeah, I went to Tulum, Mexico.
Okay. If I ask you to define Unbroken in a line, what is that?
I would say resilience, comeback, keep going on.
Okay. How important is it also to talk about mental health for sports persons? Often ignored, but how important is this?
I think it's really important because, as sports people, sometimes we get stuck in a bubble, especially when things are not happening. We sideline ourselves, we go back in a corner. But, if we start openly speaking about it, if we have that sort of a group around us or people around us who can help us, navigate through that phase, it makes life much easier, and I feel you can take much better decisions if those things happen to you.
Okay. What's an advice you'll give to your 19-year-old self?
Just be yourself, stay patient.
Okay. Would you have changed anything looking back now?
Well, not really. I really like the way I sort of function. My intent was always very pure. The only one thing, if like the advice you said, right, the only one thing which I would rather tell myself is not to be too desperate. Just stay patient. Things will happen at their own pace. So you are doing a good job. Pat on the back. Keep going.
Okay. What's the superpower you wish you had?
To stay, this is what I work on also, to stay present in every moment I am, not to think too much about the future, just be wherever I am and focus on what I can do next.
Okay. And finally, Raghav and Unmukt, to both of you, this is a story which is going to be, of course, an inspiration for many youngsters across India and the US. Both the countries, of course, that Unmukt is involved in. But it particularly is, of course, a big inspiration to young sportsmen and young cricketers. What's a piece of advice you'd both like to give to those young aspiring sportsmen watching you both today on NewsX? Raghav, first you, and then we'll end with Unmukt.
Thank you. So I not only limit to sports people, but any young person in this country, if you have a dream, be bold, be courageous, and make it your priority in life. Follow it every day like your religion, like the most important thing to you. Don't be disheartened by any setbacks that come in the way, because it is a marathon, it is a test match. And if success meets you early, keep your head down and double down on what you're doing.
Okay. Unmukt?
Very similar to what Raghav said. I think don't be afraid of failures, because they are going to be a part of your life. So just keep sticking onto your path, whatever your path is, keep working hard, stay disciplined. be true to yourself. That's the most important thing. If you can do that, if your intent is pure, if you are true to yourself, you will end up in the right place.
And that's what you've been doing throughout, of course. So keep doing that, and thank you so much. We all